Hey, welcome back. The next step we're going to do, now that everything has been cured, we're going to add our recovery system. Now, originally I said I was going to go ahead and just use the one that came with the rocket, but I was looking at the shock cord they provide, and this shock cord is barely 3 feet long. It's really short. They do give you a piece of Kevlar as well. The Kevlar is about 6 feet, which also is too short, in my opinion, for this rocket. When you consider once it's in the rocket and everything, you're only going to have a short amount sticking out. So we're not going to use that. I'm not going to use the Kevlar they provided. I'm going to go ahead. I cut my own shock cord. This is and I cut an 8-foot length. I like the rule of thumb that you try to go 40 times the width of the body tube. So I kind of rounded it down a little bit, but it came out, I did about 8 feet of shock cord, so that should be plenty. I'll attach it to the attachment they provided with the kit, and I am going to go ahead and hook onto the nose cone ring that they provide. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble keeping this in camera. I'm going to go ahead and use this. I've heard stories of, you hear stories of these breaking, and I think I've never had one break. And I think the biggest reason they break is one, you have too short of a shock cord, so this gets a lot of stress put on it when it reaches into that shock cord. The other thing is people attach the parachute here, and that is not a good place to attach a parachute, because when that parachute inflates, then it really puts a lot of stress on this as well. So we'll attach a long shock cord to this. The shock cord will absorb a lot of the energy, and then the parachute I'm going to actually attach to the shock cord. So for tying this, we're just going to do a video of when using this elastic. When you tie it, the knot stays pretty well. So we're just going to go ahead and do maybe a triple square knot. Make sure I have enough cord here. All right, so I've got a triple square knot on here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little piece of tape over this tail sticking out. It may wear off over time, but just keeps it out of the way. Okay. All right. So that's connected. That looks good. And I'm going to take them using these Dr. Fish swivels. Scissors here, we're going to kind of cut this at an angle. Feed it through. There we go. All right, that's almost 20 inches. That's good enough. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to tie this into a knot. That'll hold this swivel in place. All right, that's finally tied on there. That was a little bit of a challenge. Okay. So we'll just clip our parachute to this piece. And last I'm going to use these quick links to connect to the nose cone. And once again, I like to kind of tape those tails down. You could put a drop of glue on there if you want to. Alright, I'm just going to trim this little bit sticking off. Alright, so there we go. So quick link will connect to nose cone. Alright, so that takes care of our shock cord. And we're now just going to shove this through the motor tube. Alright, so to mount our coupler, I am going to use wood glue. Once again, I prefer wood glue over epoxy when I'm going paper to wood or paper on paper, and I don't need to worry about seizing on me, grabbing as you're setting it. That fits good. Wood glue where it matters. So I'm going with Tight Bond 3. Good fit. Alright, same thing, we're going to put a little glue inside our tube. Alright. Okay. Alright, so that's on. What else do we need to do? We're going to glue on our, it's going to be harder now with a longer rocket, keeping it in camera. We're going to glue on our retaining ring. I did put, I probably not going to come out hard to get on camera, but I did put some fillets around down here on that lower ring. Put it in place. For this, I'm going to use epoxy. So we're going to use, instead of epoxy, I'm going to use JB Weld. So first going to take a little sandpaper, just kind of scuff up the inside of the ring a little bit. Supposed to help the JB Weld grab. And then you want to, I should have done this long ago. Oh, I'm sorry, there's so much stuff in the way. You want to sand your part of the ring, your motor mount tube as well. Just trying to get some of that sheen off of there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to mix up some JB Weld and we're going to put this thing on. All right, got some 5-minute JB Weld mixed up. We're going to put this on the outside of the motor mount. We want to be careful to not get any inside the motor mount, or then it'll interfere with the way our motor sits. Okay, that's on there. Out of the way. Take our ring, slide that on here. We're going to give it some twist. I know can't see that, but that looks good. Something on there real nice. Got some good squeeze out coming around it, which will be nice. So, so we're gonna let that set, and then we'll come back and continue. I think the next thing we'll be doing will be we're going to put our rail guides on here.